Now we're going to multiply a 3-digit by 3-digit whole number. Once again, I'm going to show you the expanded form way and doing the standard algorithm way. Either way, you're going to start by putting 325 times 142 vertically, which means one on top of the other. Make sure you leave enough room at the bottom because this is going to go pretty far down. Once again, I'm writing this twice. You can write it once and choose which way you want to do, but you do need to do it at least one way. All right, now that I've written these vertically, I'm going to start by writing this in expanded form, each of these factors. I know that 325 can be expanded to 300 plus 20 plus 5. And 142 can be expanded to 100 plus 40 plus 2. I'm just going to draw a little line here so that we know these are separate. I'm sorry, they're pretty close together. All right, once it gets unblurry, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. There we go. So now, even though there's more numbers that we're multiplying, we're still always starting in the ones place. So I'm going to start here with 2 times 5, which we know is 10. Now they're going to do the 2 times 5, we're going to do 2 times 20. So 2 times 20 is 40, lining up the place values. And now that we've done 2 times 5, 2 times 20, now we're going to do 2 times 300. 2 times 300 we know is 600. I need to make sure I line up the place values. So if we were to add all these up, we would get 650. Let's see if we get the same over here. Still, start with the ones place. 2 ones times 5 1 is 10 ones. So we're putting a 0 in the ones place, carrying the 1 to the tens place. 2 ones times 2 tens is 4 tens, plus the 1 10 we carried over is 5 tens. 2 ones times 3 hundreds is 6 hundreds. And I'm going to cross out the 1 10 that we carried over. So notice 10 plus 40 plus 600 is 650, which is what we got here. We're getting the same answer, we're just doing this in more steps. So now that we've multiplied by the ones place, we're going to multiply everything by the tens place, or the 40. So we're going to start by 40 times 5. See, 40 times 5, I know that's 200. I'm going to make sure to line up my place values. We just did 40 times 5. We're going to do 40 times 20 now. Let's see, 40 times 20. Let's see, 4 times 2 is 8, and tens times tens is 100, so I know my answer is 800. Make sure to line up your place values. So we did 40 times 5, 40 times 20. We need to do 40 times 300 now. So I see that 4 times 3 is 12. Tens times hundreds is thousands, so my answer is going to be 12,000. I'm going to make sure I line up my place values. So if we were to add these all up, we have 12,000 plus 800 plus 200, that's 12,100. Let's see if we get the same answer here. We're multiplying by every digit up on the top factor by 4 in the tens place. We know that when we multiply anything by the tens place, our answer is always going to have a 0 in the ones place. So I'm always going to put a 0 here in the ones place so that when I answer, I'm starting by putting it in the tens place. 4 tens times 5 ones is 20 tenths. So I'm putting a 0 in the tens place, carrying the 2. So 4 tens times 2 tens is 8 tens, plus the 2 tens we carried over is, 4 tens times 2 tens is 8 hundreds, I should say, plus the 200 that we carried over is going to be 10 hundredths. So I'm putting a 0 in the hundreds place, carrying the 1 to the thousands place. 4 tens times 3 hundredths is 12 thousandths, plus the 1 that we carried over is 13,000. Did I do that right? Oh, yes, we did do that right. I'm so sorry, because 12,000 plus 800 plus 200, that's not going to get us one more hundred. It's going to get us another 1,000. So 800 plus 200 is 1,000, So we're going to have 13,000 here, which is what we match up here. Whew, sorry, I misspoke earlier. That's a good thing we're checking. So I do know that my answer is right because these three numbers equal the 13,000 that we got here. I'm going to cross out the numbers that I just used so I don't use them again. And now we're going to move on to multiplying everything by the 1 in the hundreds place. So 100 times 5, I'm going to write that down. 100 times 5 we know is 500. I'm going to line up my place values. So we did 100 times 5. Now we're going to do 100 times 20. Getting a little bit bigger. Let's see. 1 times 2 is 2. Hundreds times tens is thousands. So my answer is 2,000. Put a 2 in the thousands place. Line up your place values. We did 100 times 5. 100 times 20. Now we're going to do 100 times 300. I get a big number. So let's see. 1 times 3 is 3. Hundreds times hundreds is 10,000s. So we're going to have 3 tens thousands or 30,000. Make sure to line up my place values. If we were to add these last three numbers up, we would get 30,000 plus 2,000 plus 500. That's 32,500. Let's see if we get the same numbers over here. So now we're multiplying by the 1 in the hundreds place. We know even if we multiply anything by 100, the last two digits are going to be zeros no matter what we're multiplying by. So we're always going to put 2 zeros here. This is going to allow our answer to start in the hundreds place. 100 times 5 ones is 500s. Look here. That's exactly what we wrote. 100 times 2 tens is going to be 2 thousands. 100 times 300 is going to be 3 10,000s. We're going to put a 3 in the 10,000s place, lining up our place values. Notice we just got 32,500, which is the same as these three numbers added up. So we know our answers are right. We're going to add both of these problems up to find our sum. Let's start with the ones place. We have all these zeros in the ones place, so we know there's a 0 in the ones place. Move that down a little bit. There we go. So we added up all of our digits in the ones place. We got 0. 110 plus 4 tens is 5 tens. 600s plus 200s is 800s. Plus 800s is 1600s. Plus 500s is going to be 2100s, because 16 plus 5 is 21. Putting the 1 in the hundreds place, carrying the 2 to the thousands place. There we go. 2,000s plus 2,000s is 4,000s, plus 2,000s is 6,000s. 1 10,000 plus 3 10,000s is 4 10,000s. So my answer is 46,150. Let's see if we get the same answer over here. Starting with the ones place again. Get 0 in the ones place, 5 in the tens place. 600s plus 500s is 1100s. Put a 1 in the hundreds place, carry the 1 to the thousands. 3,000 plus 2,000 is 5,000, plus the 1,000 we carried over is 6,000. 3 10,000s plus 1 10,000 is 4 10,000s. So our answer, no matter which way we did it, was 46,150. We just used more steps to get here in this problem. Let's see if we estimate our answer, what we would get. I'm going to make this a little bit simpler on us. I'm going to just do 300. And since I rounded that number down, I'm going to round this number up times 150. Let's see. I know that 3 times 15 is 45. I know that hundreds times tens is thousands, so 45,000. Look here, that's only about 1,000 away. My answer is very close. It must be reasonable. So I'm writing 46,150 on my answer line and 45,000 on my estimated answer line.